Good morning. So the next concept, last class we have started, just we have initiated the basic concepts of transformation in the last class. That is, we just started what is 2D geometric transformations. In that, we just seen two kinds of transformation, that is called translation and rotation. Due to problem with the annotation, I could not continue the class. So today I'll just have a recap and I'll continue to the matrix representation and maybe the homogeneous coordinates. Though this syllabus is not there for internal, it is a very much important for examination point of view. So always it is a fixed question. Explain the two-dimensional geometric transformations or three-dimensional. So if you understood this, you'll understand three-dimensional very easy. That is in module 3. It is almost the same. Okay. And we have other concepts of a cube perspective view that I have not covered. Maybe I'll do it right now, and I'll in the afternoon I'll take a lab session for our first program, that is a Bressenham's line drawing algorithm. So let me continue. So what we have is a geometrical transformations. Yes, right. So here we have what is a modeling transformations. There are two kinds of transformations, geometric and modeling. So last class I've shown you the meaning of translation. So what is the meaning of translation? That is, this is a point P, this is a point P. So when you relocate this point from P to P dash, so you have some sort of x comma y coordinate. So those x and y coordinate has to be, these x and y coordinates has to be represented with some translation factors. Okay, this translation factors, that is called tx and ty. Okay, tx and ty. So here we have a translation along x-axis, translation along y-axis, that is tx. Hence I could write, okay, so what is the value of x dash and y dash? As I can write this as, always whenever I add x plus tx, you could take x double add x dash and y plus ty equal to y dash. So in column wise, I could write always if p is a new initial point and p dash is a new point, the new point always could be obtained by adding the column called tx and ty. So this is being worked as an equation. This is a major equation that you have to write. Right. Similarly, coming to the concept of rotation. So last class I have explained this also. So you have a specific code to explain the kind of translations. So you could write this concept of, you could write this concepts of translation factors. So that is new vertex that is being identified along the y-axis, along the x-axis. So by adding the translation factors tx and ty. So this could be a very good concept for you to understand or to move up, that is being shown always. Fine. Next we have a concept. So next we have a concept of, this rotation. So we'll see that also. So basic 2D rotation. In the case of basic 2D rotation, what happens is this is a complete object and this object is being rotated along this, this is a pivot element. So this is being considered here. So it is being rotated, that is in anti-clockwise direction. It is not clockwise, anti-clockwise. The anti-clockwise is a positive direction. So positive direction in the angle theta. So this theta could be seen and this object is being tilted. Okay. So that is this pivot element. The pivot element is this is a right angle triangle. This is a pivot element. This is being tilted over here. So in the direction of Y. So this is a complete rotation based on one axis. At this moment, you could analyze even this point is changed, this point is changed, this point is changed, and finally this point is changed. So how do you analyze this? That is by writing an angle along one of the pivot elements. So pivot element is the point with which the point is rotated. Remember, pivot point is a point with which the pivot point, this is a pivot point, okay? Pivot point is a point by which it is rotated, right? Next, we have basics two-dimensional transformations by using rotations. In this one, you could see what is the formula for trigonometric cos A plus B and cos A minus B. So this you have to remember. This is the concepts of trigonometry. Then we come across these concepts. Okay, so that is, so first what you do is imagine this is a point. The point is at x comma y comma, and again it is being rotated in anti-clockwise, that is in positive direction. So I would first identify what is the angle, what is the angle of this pivot element from the origin, from the origin. For that, what I will do, I will draw the line. Okay, this is not a triangle, remember, this is not a triangle, this is a pivot element. The pivot element is this. So along x-axis, along y-axis, I will draw a line towards the pivot element. From the pivot element, I'll calculate what is the angle. So this is the angle. So once this angle is being pivot element is rotated in anti-clockwise direction. So now I will calculate the new angle. I will calculate the new angle, that is from here to here. From here to here, what is the angle? So this will be the new angle. This will be the new angle called theta. Now, if I ask you what is the complete angle from this distance from here to here, it is theta plus phi. So this is theta plus phi. Hence, you could see that. So moment of x dash is nothing but cos theta plus phi, and moment of y dash is equal to sin theta plus phi. So using this equation that is previously being used, okay, this using the equation previously, this is the equations we have used. So I would get what is the new value of x dash and y dash. So this is a concept of x dash and y dash. Next, coming to the concept, so this could be represented from these equations in the form of column matrix. We cannot represent column here. In tx ty was a column matrix, just a translation factor. In this case, you have to eliminate this in terms of a two-dimensional, that is cos theta minus sin theta y is cos theta into a two-dimensional matrix. Just eliminate this, eliminate this, eliminate this, eliminate this. So this you could see. Clear? See, this is the way. How do you write? Cos theta minus sin theta, and cos theta. So overall, what is the concept? The P is nothing but R, it is multiply. R dot P. We're just multiplying R dot P. Whereas in the case of a translation, it is T. We have using a positive symbol. Whereas in the case of here, we are just multiplying. Right? So we have the basic 2D rotations, same thing we have written. So rotation and translation doesn't change the any shape. So hence we say that there is no deformation. There is no deformation in the case of translation and rotation. Whereas in the case of scaling, there is a kind of deformation. See, a line is rotated by applying rotation to the each of the endpoints, and a polygon is rotated by applying the rotation form to each of the vertices. This previously what we have seen is only the point rotation. This is also point rotation. So when you come across a polygon, we will see that, right? Similarly, the code to see a rotation angle, right? Pivot along the x-axis, right? So cos theta. So using the two formulas along x-axis, along y-axis, this could be a formula to. This will be the programming part. So let us not focus more on the programming part. Just have to remember these kind of code to enhance the kind of rotation. Then coming to the basic 2D transformation, geometric transformation is called scaling. A very important concept called scaling. Scaling, what happens actually, it is same as if like the concept. Let me go to the diagram. See what happens. See here. So in the case of scaling, what happens is this is the initial. So initially, so when he move over here, sorry, he has taken a reverse. Okay, this is a line, this is a big line, so this is being eliminated, that is moved towards x-axis. This is x-axis, this is x-axis and y-axis. So at this moment, so we have certain x comma y, right? X comma y. So when you drag over here, the value of x changes, the value of y changes. So there is a change in the dimension. There is a change in the dimension of a line. Okay. See, value less than 1 reduce the size of the object, value greater than 1 enlarge the object, right? If the scaling factor is 1, then the object value is unchanged. That means there is no deformation. So this is very important. If you want to retain the same size of an object, the scaling factor will be the same. Hence, no changes in the no change in the transformation happens, right? If the scaling factor is less than 1, then the object moves closer to the origin. Remember, if the scaling factor is less than 1, the object moves nearer to the origin. If it is 1, we will have a uniform scaling. It's greater than, enlarge the object. Okay. Now coming to the so size of the object. So we have same, it is not plus, we have just multiplying. Okay, so we could see the matrix representation here. If you could see the matrix representation, it is scaling factor x dash is equal to x dot sx, y is equal to y dot xx. So you could write the matrix from this. So here always see along the x-axis, along the y-axis, multiplied by the previous factors. Right? For example, if this is x, you are moving over here. This is x comma y. So we're drawing it as okay. So this is very important. You want to explain a two-dimensional geometric transformation in the exam for different types of transformations. This is important. Okay. So basic two-dimensional transformation scaling. Why does the scaling? So you could write when it is being written. So matrix form x dot along x-axis, no axis scaling is done. So y-axis scaling is done along y-axis. Okay. So this is all about the basic 2D transformations related things. So same thing continuing for rotation, scaling, and this thing. So here is the code to represent the scaling factors. Now coming to the matrix representation, this I'll start in the next class. Now let me focus on the concepts of one of the program that we have not yet covered. So in fact, I was supposed to do it last time. So today, actually, I'll do the Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. Um, I'll just show you the output of cube perspective viewing. All of you, many people have executed this program. Draw the cube and spin it using Gopal GL transformations. So here it was only regarding mouse functions. So there is one more program that is called perspective. Remember, this is too important. Though I have not covered the concept of viewing. What is the meaning of perspective view? You know it. Perspective view is nothing but, so imagine you have one of the tree. Okay, you have one of the tree, right? So what happens is, when you view from this point, right, see the focus of this particular tree on particular area, so this will be the point. The size of the tree will be quite small. If you view especially from a nearby point, okay, so if this is your view, this is your eye, imagine this is your eye, imagine even this is your eye. This is a weaving concept. So we need to implement the concept of weaving by using mouse functions and the keyboard functions. Similarly, if the same view is being perceived with respect to different angle or a different distance, so here the angle or the distance matters, so it looks like the different. So the concept of perspective view we have to implement over here. Okay, so by using a keyboard and the mouse, it is not a complete rotation. Remember, here we are not going to rotate, but we utilize the concept of a rotation, that is a degree to be considered while rotating the this one. Okay, so those who have not present, they have to focus on this program, that is a perspective view, because in the afternoon I'll show you only the execution of it, and I'll go with the Bresenham's program, so that you need to execute it. So cube program, since you have executed one program, so you don't have any sort of issue in understanding and executing this program. So understanding, so what you could see is, in perspective, the vertices is the same, the color coordinates are same as if, like, see, just have a review. So you have this one polygon shapes. How do you find the vertices? Then you have display function. In display function, you call along the rotation along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, and how it being rotated in the moment of +1 once 360. So post redisplay, what is the basic idea of post redisplay? It marks the current window as needing to be displayed. Any changed or modified shape has to be redisplayed, right? When you rotate the vertices, so that rotation points has to be updated the momentarily. So momentarily updation is must, it is not display, let post redisplay. It marks the current window as needing to be displayed. Okay, so then we have used mouse functions to take a shaper. So my reshape function, I said, it is being used to minimize the aspect ratio or the distortion, to maintain the aspect or the distortion, because when you rotate along x-axis, y-axis, z-axis, it goes on changing. We have to maintain that. We have to maintain those though. So x min, y min, x max, y max, z min, z max. When the width is less than equals to height, you have to maintain y min, y max. Whereas when width is greater than height, we have to maintain x min, x max. Whereas z will remain the same. That is in the case of my ratio for that is using GL ortho in the case of cube rotation. Now coming back to the main concept, what I need to discuss. So we have to achieve the perspective view. So what is perspective view? I just explained right now using the concept of a tree, right? So here the program works in the same way. So all you have is same. You use a extra line called, you can modify to the same program, Weaver. Weaver, it is an array. Viewer of 0, viewer of 1, viewer of 2. Viewer of 0, this is z-axis. So we have set to the z-axis. Even the in the rotation also we have set to the z-axis. Axis of 2 is nothing but downside. It is a z-axis. So initially the viewer will be located at z-axis. Initial viewer location. Right. This is the first thing. First changes that you have to made in the code. right? Everything is same. I'm just trying to tell you everything is same. Initialize theta to 0. Previously also we did the same. Next, what we do is, after that, what do we do? So polygon is the same shape, cube also the same. You call a white display the same. Ultimately, the extra changes that is you call the look at function. Look at function is being set viewer of 0 along x-axis, viewer of 1 along y-axis, viewer 2 z-axis, and initially it is set to the z-axis, right? X min, x max, y min, y max, z min. So we'll set this as a 1 by default. Okay, I'll explain you why this is being set to 1. Okay, how does the look at function works, and what is the parameters for look at function. So rest of this thing is same here, all of you. What is the rest of the thing? That is the rotation. So rotation is same. You call color cube, you call flux function, and only the thing is the extra thing you have to write GL look at, and fine, only you have to add up the GL look at functions. Then mouse function is also same. In the mouse function, extra thing what you do is you same concept of the mouse is here also. Theta of axis is 360, you reset it to minus 360. Once it complete rotation, you have to set it back to the original position. Imagine the here the cube will not be rotated continuously. You have to rotate it by pressing the left button, middle button. That I'll show it during execution of a program. First, you understand here what we are going to the changes. So you use look at function using a concept viewer. So the parameters, I'll explain this, and you add this viewer at initialization viewer at the beginning. You call mouse function same as it is, right? Instead of spin cube, the part of the spin cube is copied over here. So usually you have written this if theta of axis 360, where you have written in the previous program, it was in spin cube, right? So we will not call spin cube. Remember, see, void spin cube will not be used in perspective viewing. That is, you have called spin cube, no? So the same part of the code is being copied. If theta of axis 360, so what you are going to do, so that we are going to write it in the mouse function only. Spin cube separate program will not be called. Separate function spin cube, no, that is not going to be called in this program. This is too important. See, you call spin cube. What does the spin cube do? It completely rotates, no, idle function callback. So that is not being done over here. See, you don't call a spin cube. I'll show you the main function also. The part of the code is being copied on the mouse function. Majorly, you will use the key functions. In the key functions, so what you do? You write a code. What should be happen on pressing from the keyboard? Small x, big X, small y, big Y, small z, big Z. So what happens? We'll set viewer x-axis to x-axis. Small letter x is x-axis, y-axis. Again, sorry, to the x-axis we'll set viewer 0. To the y-axis we'll set the viewer y. Will to the z-axis we'll set to the viewer 2. Right? To move the viewer. When you go on click on it, so the the image will go on enlarging or becoming small and diminishes. So that is a concept of perspective view, and we'll use the same myReshape function to maintain the aspect ratio or to avoid the distortion, but we'll use a function called GL frustum here. Frustum basically it is a weaving function that is being used. Okay, so it also follows the same concept of x min, y min, y z, x min, x max, y min, y max, z min, z max. So instead of GL ortho, we'll use GL frustum. So, but you have to remember this 220. So along the z axis, always we have to maintain the distortion or the aspect ratio. So rest of the thing is the same. Then coming to the main function, what we have, see, you call reshape as it is. You call the color cube viewer. It is not spin cube. You call the display function, but you don't call the spin cube. You call mouse and keyboard. So extra thing what you have is only these keyboard functions you call it. Only this is the extra thing you have, right? You don't call the spin cube and you don't write the code for it. So spin cube part of the code is being written only in the mouse functions. This is an extra function. You have to replace GL ortho with GL frustum. I'm just writing the modifications, right? Right. Next, what you have to do, myReshape function is over. Then you have to write the keyboard functions. This is important. So I'll show you how exactly it works during execution in afternoon. Then this part of the code is from the spin cube. This part of the code is from the spin cube. So I don't write a spin cube over here, right? That is being written inside the mouse function, the extra thing what you'll write. Then basically important thing is what is lookat function. You call lookat function. I'm just trying to tell you what exactly the changes. So lookat function. So lookat function is a viewer function. So this is being added in the display functions. This itself is the changes. So you should compare. Maybe I'll forward you the changes what you have to write in both the programs, and I'll forward it. So you can go ahead with the execution of this program. Though I have forwarded in that doc both the programs. Execution I have not shown. Tomorrow in the afternoon, I will go with the, maybe we'll start at 3 o'clock. So I'll go with the Bresenham's line drawing algorithm. Okay. So as of now, let me end the session. So if you have any doubts, you can chat. So you can give the attendance. Meanwhile, I'll just once again, if you have not understood, I'll review through what exactly in the spin cube and perspective view, the major differences. So this is spin cube int axis equals to 2. It was same, no? So but here what we'll do is we'll add one more called viewer function. So this is regarding the declaration part. So polygon is also same, color cube is also same. In the display functions, you call lookat functions. You could, I'll just review through what we have done there in the upside program. See, everything is same. Display function, color cube. So you just have to add a lookat function. So lookat function is a viewer function. So what else? Once you add it, you will not use the spin cube. You will extract this part of the code. That is, if theta is axis is 360, not this line, you will not go on rotating by 0.1. Remember, you simply copy this and you paste into the function called mouse functions. See what we have done, the same function to the mouse function. So we will not add this, remember, because we are not moving by 0.1 degree to the rotation. In the spin cube, we have rotated no this 0.1 theta of axis. We are not going to do it, right? Copy that part of it, right? We just copied. Yeah, copied. And you add some extra functions called keyboard functions. That is, on pressing small letter X, what happens? On letter X. Also, it should work with the mouse also. On pressing left button, it should not rotate. It should show the perspective view along x-axis. It should show the perspective view along y-axis. It should show the perspective along the z-axis. And finally, this is the concept to maintain the aspect ratio or to maintain the distortion. So that is, we use viewport, and extra thing what you use, we use viewport and use a frustum function instead of GL ortho 2D, right? And in the downside, what you have? In the downside, you have you don't call spin cube, we have not written the function, so you call keyboard functions keys. That's it. So that is a major things or the differences what you have. Even you could visualize the myReshape of the spin cube. So in the myReshape, what you have done, you have simply called GL ortho. Is it or not? You call a GL ortho function. Okay, so that is maintaining the same. Width is less than equals to it. Maintain y min y max, right? Whereas you have not called viewport. So even sometimes even viewport functions, what it does, it maps the window to viewport. We will know what is exactly the viewport functions is being used. See this, imagine this is your screen and this is your window and this is your desktop screen. Sometimes what I have to do in order to maintain the distortion, so within the window is called viewport. Okay, window within window is called as viewport. So this is called viewport and this is called window. So this is window. So we have used viewport. So here what has done, he has considered window itself as a viewport. That is my window. This is a window. This window itself is considered as a viewport. If you comment this also, maybe it will, this program will work. Okay, if you comment this also. Why do you have used viewport? Basically, when you use a perspective view, it is a quite good method or a good point to use a viewport functions. Okay, you will come across viewport functions while doing a weaving concept. Okay, so the execution of this I'll show you in the afternoon with the Bresenhams. So by that time we have completed, you know, and a few issues we need to talk about it. So what are the things that you are not able to execute? So we have done Sierpinski gasket, that is the 7th program, very simple program. Then we have rotated a triangle around the fixed point last class, and 4th program is a perspective color cube. So see this one, sorry, 4th was a perspective that I just showed you. Execution I'll show it in the afternoon first, then you'll go to the Bresenhams. So altogether first program is completed, third program is completed, fourth will going to complete, seventh is completed, right? Then rest of the thing is much simpler also, that is rotation, that is on transformation matrix. Then we have flag, then menu driven scanline fill algorithm. So all these things, most of the theoretical part regarding the program we have done. So we'll see that and we'll discuss in the afternoon. Okay, I'll tell you the timings in the afternoon in the group. So before you know 2 o'clock. And regarding internals, maybe you can go through the a few of the important questions I had forwarded you, and you could just study through it. Okay, so let me stop. So those who have not given the attendance can give the attendance into the attendance chat session.